Oh, here comes Ray.
Yeah.
Good evening. Would you close the door, please? We're going to start. Scott can let himself in.
Just
Recording in progress.
Okay, good evening. This is the September meeting of the Village of North Bennington Trustees. We are opening our meeting at 6:32, and we'll take a moment.
in progress. I'll turn it off in a second.
Okay. And thank you. We'll take a motion to enter into executive session
So moved.
for the purpose. Okay. Well, we have to do the whole thing for the purpose of a legal discussion, but premature disclosure of which would put parties at a disadvantage. That is the motion.
So moved.
Thank you. And seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, Cat TV, I'm going to put you in the waiting room. We expect to be back in session by or before 7. Right, Cat TV is now joining. Let me go back to record.
Recording in progress.
Okay, it is 6:57. We needed a motion to exit executive session.
So moved.
Motion to, yeah, there you go.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so we have exited executive session. No decisions were made. Okay, we're admitting now Robert Novak, our resident, and Bob King. Bob, come in. Come join us. Thank you. Yes, anywhere you want to sit. So we are now at our regular session.
Doug, I got the seat ready for you there.
Yeah.
I'm set up here now.
Those are for you.
Okay,
Those are
thank
for
you.
you. Okay.
You're
So-
good there?
It is now 6:58. We are back in our regular session. We just acknowledged the public that was here. Slight change to the agenda. Under our new business, we're going to discuss the use of the depot. Lori has some requests that we will discuss that. And if is there any other business that we neglected to note here?
I have a couple of things when we get to the fire department.
Okay,
Mark, okay?
all right, we'll add those in. And that is to be added, so that is upon that request. Okay, so,
Norm has a question.
Norm,
Can I go first?
yes, you may.
I was out way late last night, we have done this stuff.
You may certainly go first. We can hold minutes and paying of bills.
I saw you working today.
You're on.
Okay, no, thank you very much for entertaining, me coming first so I can get out of here. So, pretty dry month,
Yeah.
clearly, which is not very good for our field, up in Wells Field, the grass has been dormant. And you can see it just like everything else, but that has allowed us some other time, to do other projects. One recently we've been working on is Park Street, that
Yes.
it's done. I really would suggest for all of the trustees to go down and look at it. It's pretty deep. You know, it's really deep. And, you know, industry standard in a pipe for pitch is like a 1/4 inch a foot. So this thing pitches, a 1/4 inch every 10 feet. So that's to try to keep it up out of the ground. We have, surveyed the lay of the land. We stand next to Monroe and you look down, or you go at the bottom and you look up, you can see a little hump, so we can probably take 6, 8 inches off of that, grade it. But it's still deep, I mean, that ditch is gonna be 3 feet,
Huh,
4 feet deep.
I'm already anticipating something going on.
Yeah, they're gonna be in big trouble.
Yeah.
should there be some, I don't know, mark?
We're gonna put some linears,
Yes.
something to mark it, we're gonna leave the cones there for 30
Okay.
days, just so people get used to it. You know, you can't really have something there in the winter time, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know, put a guardrail there, make the street even narrower.
Yeah,
You know, right now that is the best question there. And the next thing we can say, okay, we put a couple DIs and we can put some pipe out in there and rebury it, which, you know, we didn't waste any time doing what we did. You know, just look at it
okay,
and, we'd like to talk about it, we want to talk about it out there. Other than that, we've, you know, we've used this time to clean up a lot. We've, made some more topsoil in the boneyard. Hopefully we can get back to the project up on Wellings Field and finish that bank. Our contractor, the Dulles, has been doing a nice job keeping it mowed, but, you know, some rocks that need to be picked up for him. So last month, did we talk about fence? Was that
yes,
all?
we did, we approved the fence last,
Okay.
yes, yes.
All right, I don't remember seeing anything on that, and maybe we talked about it.
In the minutes.
Were you here last month? She
No.
went, yeah, she just talked about it.
No, that's okay, so I'll get a hold of, our
I
contract.
thought you and I talked about it, I'm
So
sorry.
we probably did, just they get so much going. So, we got that, we're still waiting on our paper.
Yeah.
I know those 2 ditches on River Road have been real bone contention with some people. So we're actually gonna patch that in tomorrow. You know, it's gonna cost us a little bit more than it is, and it's, you know. Cause I don't know when they're coming, they're so far behind, these lost a bunch of drugs. It's just a comedy of errors that are becoming a problem. As you can see, we got our little speed car out, and it's only been in a couple of spots. I put it right here on Main Street in, the house that the, I believe the fund owns.
Mhm.
That area they were by with me, you know, and, so now it's over on our property, we'll probably move it next week somewhere else. Over by the store, it's really gotta sit in a direct sunlight spot, or else it's just not gonna work. I mean, we can bring it down towards, the hangar or something like that, but, you know, somebody's got a suggestion to still make that. You know, we gotta have somewhere to lock it, so nobody's doing. The skate park people have been in contact with me, they're supposed to come and do something with really March to deal with that. So that's not a big issue, some recall or something. The one truck that's in the river rotation, should be here soon, they're just waiting on a couple parts. I did set that quote for the other plow, that's on, okay? So just give me, I gotta bring that check when I pick that up, to get last year's price. So, but so you don't have to mail it. Okay.
Norm.
Lower categories.
Norm,
Yeah. Yeah.
I have that now on my dining room table, and I can put that on my door for you to pick up now or in the morning.
Yeah, no, I don't need it for 3 weeks, 2 weeks, you know.
Do you want me to hold it here?
Yeah, just hold it, I know you got it, I'll just call when I need it, and
Okay,
I don't think. So,
Yeah, so since you're going first, I'm gonna have you, so if you wanna just, because it was 9,000, right, just, you know, to reiterate.
yeah, I could, everybody,
Oh, I don't care, I just think you, And the NDI truck, 9,065, right?
yes,
Okay.
And
So
that's the
that's-
plow that allows you to go into the culverts.
that's the plow, it'll go outside the truck and it'll go out 4 feet, so when we go, so let's use streets like Hall Street. Hall Street is a crazy wide street. Again, there's a push in our local communities surrounding us, they take streets and they're sucking them in. I don't know if we really wanna do that, cause it's a big fight, I mean, I come from my house, don't watch them down, and I gotta go like this all morning. You know, so that's gonna go 4.5 feet, so you take 9, right, 10, 11, 12, 13, now you go that wide, so 13, 26, you know, Royal Street and stuff like that. And we have a lot of streets, and you can see when you go like over Madison Road and again down Park Street is a big one, especially like on the Monroe and Bratcher side and stuff. I don't understand, I'm long my whole life, and I'm not scared of the edge, but some people are, right? They don't like getting close to the edge, and we've all driven in a car and seen somebody stuck in the middle of the road, and like, why aren't you over here type? So this is gonna allow this to be the truck in the road with the plow off the road. So,
Yeah.
it should do us very well. And again, this is stuff that we've went around, right? Today, we were invited to a meeting in the old Bennington. We wrapped up that project, we've invoiced them. I don't know if you want me to tell them, say the number or not. So we did our $22,000 of work. You know, mainly there was a few parts that are on LD invoices that we did, you know, I put them in. And, you know, it was mainly labor and, you know, trucks like the back truck and the mower head and stuff that we have got from surplus property turning around. And, they want to enter into a longer term agreement in maintenance. And, I recommend that we do that. Get a good working relationship with their person. And
Norm, we are invited to their trustee meeting or their select board meeting, as they call it. That will be in October. So we'll have a chance to do some thinking and prepare some thoughts and some suggestions. The next 2 months, we were unable to do it this month or next month because their meetings and ours coincide on the same day.
right.
So that will be in November, we'll be attending that.
You know, that's my vacation.
Oh, well.
They want that, might be on Zoom or something. But that's worked out, there. Again, like I said, we're wrapping up our projects, it's, gonna start coming in this summer. You know, leaves are gonna start falling sooner probably than later. You have a drain in front of your house, do us a favor, take the leaves off of it, and get drain. Which, you know, hopefully it will come. Other than that, I mean, I guess without any questions.
Good question.
We spent a week on market.
Two questions, just quickly.
Yeah.
Do we have a 2025 grant and aid? Did we get, I don't remember, I'd have to go back and.
Well, I think that's, 2025 is the one, yeah, I think we do, so you write it up this year for next year.
No, this is the one, it's due at the end of the month.
No, the proposal.
Oh, the proposals,
The
okay.
proposal, and I think for next year, but we looked, so those, and we got to get those
Okay,
culvert inventories.
Okay.
Excuse me, the culverts, the 18-inch culvert.
Yeah.
The slips, the invoices that we found weren't what we needed.
oh, okay, well, we'll have to talk about that.
Right, because that could have been done before October. You gotta get, you
Okay,
gotta get that.
but what do we need to do to meet the 2025 grant and aid
I'll
requirement?
call Jim Henderson tomorrow,
Okay.
because usually Jim's the one that does that.
Okay,
And,
I know we signed months ago that we were gonna take part in it.
right, and that was a generic mass email, correct?
Yes,
So we already might be very long into that.
you might have already put in a
Right,
proposal,
because Jim,
okay,
he goes around and picks something, say, okay, let's do
I-
this next year.
okay, I cannot recall. Second thing is Royal Street, I know you did a temporary patch on that, but then you had talked last time about needing to slip line the whole thing.
Yes,
Is that still
it's something we should do,
okay?
you
I
know.
think we put funds in that when we did the budget, when we did the, tax rate.
I mean, so you wanna, hopefully, we can wait till next year, that's your plan?
Well,
It has to be done in the summer months.
that would be yes, it would have to be done before June, by or before June. Is that possible?
Yeah, they could probably be
Yeah.
this month. No.
I don't,
Yeah,
okay, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have any taxes yet.
Okay, so we would like to
it's in the
see
budget.
it set up, hopefully we can make it through the winter, which we probably can,
Yes.
more than likely. Set up and have it at a springtime event.
Right, that's what
Yes,
Gary's saying,
yes.
if that one of the projects that we put through, then absolutely right, I just don't wanna commit right now because,
Yeah.
you know, we'll be,
Yeah.
especially if the neighbor calls and says, hey, we're ready to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he's never failed us.
Oh, yeah.
He's in the same boat, you know, they'll, yeah, you know, yeah, he's coming. I don't know if we will get every street that we wanted to do. I don't know, but I really want River Road done.
Yeah.
And, the rest we can put off till spring if we had to,
Okay.
you know.
Right, because we will have the fund balance, so I mean, we're okay.
Yeah.
And
We
if
just
it carries to springtime, it's actually even better for cash flow, see that point.
So, you know, there we are, because we got that, you know, that whole salt debacle with the, you know, the suppliers last year, we're pretty good at our salt now. So we won't be ordering, usually we start ordering it in October. I haven't seen any salt contracts come out yet, so we'll be out soon. I would like to meet with the zoning guy. One day, we go look at that house that we had spoke with, right behind you, is that drain still there?
On West Street?
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, what we need to, you know, make it, I'm gonna make a recommendation to the board and the DRB, and I hope they send them a nasty letter and get these things fixed before this is a big problem, you know. The house has been a humongous storm.
Sorry, which
Always been.
house and what's the issue?
So it's two houses up from the library, on the same side of the library, they redid their driveway, did a bunch of work.
Brick house.
Now they got.
Brick, yeah.
The driveway is way wider than it's supposed to be, they're driving on the sidewalk where they're not supposed to be. And one of the biggest things is they put a drain pipe that comes from the eave, now they have not hooked it up to the eave of the house yet. But it's sitting there and it runs out and it dumps right on the sidewalk. So all the stormwater out of the roof will go down, that's a big no. You know, in the village, what most people do is they put a well tile in and then they run into there and then it goes to the ground and that's it, that's the end of it. You know, but they can't do it the way they did.
Did they get a permit for this, Chris?
They got permits for foundation work,
Oh, okay.
and I was told they weren't doing anything to the driveway, putting more gravel on top.
But they widened it.
Yeah, because they used to park on the grass, they pretty much gravelled everything that they've been parking on, but they haven't, it's supposed to park on that for years and years. And we've had cars there, it's terrible, but the building has too many cars for the apartments in the center. You know, and,
Well, that's one issue we have, we always say that you have to have a parking space and a half, but we never put a ceiling in it, saying you can't have more than.
Is that owned by the college or is it just used by all college kids?
It's owned by,
Not for us.
yes,
And is that 11? It's 11, whatever that street is.
West Street.
17 West Street.
Or 7.
17,
There's a management company that is doing the work.
okay.
I was
But
glad-
you guys can set up a meeting and go take care of
when
it.
you sit there and look at it, and
Okay.
you can agree with me or tell me, no, we're not gonna do anything, and that's.
No, I'm the one who pointed it out, and, I
Yeah.
think it can be an issue in the winter.
It can be you just, you know.
It's all ice on that sidewalk and the kids are walking to school,
Yeah,
it's not gonna work.
no, it's not,
Okay.
I just don't know that the zoning, there's no bylaw that prevents it. It might be,
well, you need a permit, to do the work. The driveway's only, you have 12 feet curb cut, we sign it, many, year after year of, road and bridge standards. And, you know, it's already wider than that, you know, it's kind of, then the deli just keep parking on the grass, and, you know, they keep going around the other side of the house. And I'm glad that somebody took a little initiative and fixed it up, but we gotta meet that way. You know, I will tell you this, if it goes through the winter next year, I'm gonna curb raise on that house. Or thinker, I'm not gonna drive over that.
Is there a DU there?
This is just a thorn every time. There's cars in the yard, they park in the winter time, they move, it's just, it's constant. The problem in this house.
Matthew had a comment or question?
And it's legal for them to put, direct the water to drainage, right? Because it's not going into sewer. You want it to go to the street and into a DU.
Yeah, it does, it drops out on the grass right in front of the site.
Right, but I can't remember if there's subterranean drainage on that side of the road.
There is, but in the DI, but that's not really legal for them to hook to too. We have allowed that for people to do that, but that's not a convenient thing for that house to do. You know,
So where's the water gonna go? What else can they do?
They can put it in a well pipe. You did it. They did it all on the street, that's what everybody does. You put it in one well pipe, you fill it full of stone, you throw a pipe in it, and away you go, it's done. But, you know, this whole village is a riverbed, you know, water disappears and it's done.
A dry well, you're saying?
Yeah, and we told the contractor that, and he was good, but he was just only being hired from somebody, you know, building manager, property manager, or whatever. And they were a big company down here, I forget, do you remember the name? Who was that? But it was something, they did whatever,
The excavator or the, people did the contract?
the people who were doing the contract.
I don't know, I've never spoken with them.
The excavator was a young star.
Yeah,
He was a nice guy. He didn't have any issues. With us. You know, that was it,
All right. Anything else for Norm?
right?
I just wanted a clarification on the Park Street, drainage issue. Is that, you've done all the work to the culvert? Is that what you've done? Because I walked the other stretch and I then didn't
Okay,
see
so-
that was clear.
So right now, from where, the Hollis Hills house was, the blue west, where all the
Yeah.
water falls on the street.
Right,
It is ditched from there,
yeah,
all the way through the doctor's driveway,
right,
with all the pipes, even again, we're not, everybody in this community workforce, we go above and beyond. We put a pipe over the fire hydrant, so the firemen, if there's ever a fire, don't have to go through a 3-foot ditch and come back out and insulated it. You know, so they can walk right to it, can be maintained, right, over and above, we go right down to where the, walkway is for the woods that comes out.
Yeah.
Right there, we put another pipe in, so
Yeah.
people don't have to walk through the ditch. And then went down, and we did it across the doctor's driveway, so we've got a nice thing.
There's no issue with that. I was just wondering about the other side, their driveway down to,
river?
The river?
yeah.
No, right now, we went as far as we agreed
You're
with,
gonna go.
with both parties.
Okay,
The earth is pitted that way,
yeah,
and we're gonna wait until we get some rain, and then we're gonna
see
see.
what happens.
Now, it could be we see in the spring,
Yeah,
could be we see in the fall. Now, we had that little rain the other night, and we went down and looked, and you could see the mud in the ditch, and the water was going just the way we wanted. And, you know, it didn't
that's,
stop because we hadn't finished it.
that's great.
You know,
I think it looks great, Norm. I drove through there tonight and it really the Knopfsinger property looks fantastic. And then I noticed you put the little one under the trail, the trailhead.
Yeah.
But your point earlier was that it does look like the grade maybe is it all downhill from all the way up there?
Yeah, it actually continues to go uphill the whole way, but there's a hump. And there's probably about a foot we can cut out of it. We gotta be careful where the water main is, you know, how that was built. We can dig 6-8 inches out. We'll have a problem. We can't go crazy.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that works out.
But it'll be wonderful once, if we get a heavy rainfall, to make sure that the poor folks that are living, you know, on the water side, on the Water Street side of it, hopefully they won't have to have their sump pumps running all winter.
Well, that's the hope. I mean, we don't know where all the groundwater comes. The water that comes down, because that pipe across from Monroe's is still there.
Okay,
Okay, we're never gonna take that out, because the deal, we take it out, then we can't put it back, right?
okay,
And, but our ditch is 4 inches below that pipe. So that water's gotta come up quite high before it trickles out to the other side.
okay, good.
And, you know, so that there,
Good.
that's the plan. Hopefully the plan works.
Good, excellent.
Thanks for getting that done.
Yes, any
Yeah.
other questions for anyone?
No,
Bedtime?
It is.
Take care.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Norm, appreciate it.
All right, let's go back to our minutes then of August 12th. And I sent you the revised ones. Thank you, Ray, for, everything is lined out on the original minutes. And then, Ray, thank you for the much better written segment that was now added in there
for Representative
for
Greer.
Representative Greer's comments. And then your
Thank you for
questions.
your noticing.
Yeah, no, that was hard to follow, to be honest. Well, at least for me. So,
Well, as it was written, as the minutes were written, yes, it was hard to follow. It was hard to follow in,
It was hard to follow in the first discussion.
unless you know the education scene
Yes.
better, you.
That was my meeting, right? That's what I was trying to keep
you
up.
could- And I thought
Dear God, he
You
talked.
did a beautiful job on
He
this.
talked.
Man.
the whole topic was hard.
Yeah.
So these are the minutes, and
Excellent.
once these are approved, before they are posted, the lined out segment will be removed in the final. So looking for a motion for that.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay. Seconded there. Seeing no questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Doug, do you want to take the warrants, please?
Sure. I have the payroll warrant, first here. This.
I've got it, I've got them right here, if you want me to. Okay.
We have a payroll warrant, which I may have sent the wrong one, actually, what's the total on yours?
22,639.07.
I'm going to,
Oh, gosh, yes, I just
Yeah,
noted this now.
it's back in July.
yeah, so I did that on these warrants, I was printing, print it, since we have a printer here now.
Yes.
I will do that. So the payroll warrant is a total of $15,883.41. And that covers the month of August. There was 2 pay periods in the month of August.
Yes.
Everything was as normal, 2 fees, 2 retirement, and 1 hours. So I am printing that right now, and once we do the warrants, I will do that. But the total is $15,883.40.
I'll motion for that. So moved. Questions? Comments?
Well, I can't really see it, but I don't think there's any
It's
questions.
typical payroll. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, then the next one we
Yep.
do have.
Yes. And again, this is apologies, and this is a week's worth of tax billing, making my numbers all blend together. So the warrant is late August and September.
Yeah,
The August meeting, if you remember, was very early in the month, so Lori, we had quite a number of bills that we paid at the end of August. We got the checks on the 27th. And then the really, we're only the 9th of September, so there really wasn't a lot of new bills that came in, so I put it all on one. So our grand total of the warrant is 44,241.44. There really isn't, too much out of the ordinary. I was gonna have Norm talk about, the 9,000, which he already did, that's for the plow. The largest item on there is VLCT Property and Casualty, which is the quarterly billing for that, that's a little over 14,000. Green Mountain Power and the fire department had reimbursement for some training and some items at the firehouse, and that was $2,090.48. And that's it, and you have the warrant detail, so
Yeah.
if you have any questions, but otherwise, the total warrant, which includes late August and September, is 44,241.40.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Questions from you gentlemen?
No.
No, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And I will go get that. Just
Can you print that one too?
Absolutely.
That way I can I can keep my copy.
Yep.
All right. Moving right on. Do you want to stay right with the treasurer's
You want
report?
me to jump right in?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We can get those copies immediately.
Yep, oh no, I'll grab it right when I'm
Okay.
done. Okay, so the bulk of my report is tax billing. For the past week plus, I've been working on the tax billing, getting the information from Bennington and Shaftesbury, collecting that information, working with our billing service, which is Demrick, who does a lot of billing for the state of Vermont. So that process started early last week. As of this morning, all tax bills were brought from post office.
Okay.
Yes, they were.
Your employee was quite surprised at the number of, mail items that were dropped off this morning, my wife said.
It was all fine. No problem.
So we're actually a little bit ahead of schedule. Normally we shoot for the 15th of September because we have to wait for Shaftesbury and Bennington to finish up. So that's a good thing there. So now information will start to go out. So I will have information on the website. I'm gonna send that to Lucy probably this weekend. I think it worked well last year about what to do if you missed your homestead filing, because a lot of people don't realize I have nothing to do with that. They have to contact the state of Vermont. So last year I had a little blurb that explained that and gave the link to the website and the phone number, so I'm gonna put that on there again. And I'll put it out there for anybody watching, it'll be on there too. The hard cutoff is October 15th. So if you need to file the homestead declaration, it has to be done by October 15th. Otherwise, your property is deemed a non-homestead and you have to pay the higher rates. And there's absolutely nothing I can do about that at all. It's a state law, that's their cutoff date. And right now you're in what's called the penalty phase, so there is a percentage, and it's not very much, but it's still advantageous to a homeowner if they miss the file to still get it done prior to October 15th. So that information will go, and if anybody hears a question, if folks flip over their tax bill, the information is also on the back of the tax bill. So if somebody says, oh, I have a question about my homestead or my state payment, all the contact information, we use special paper for the tax billing. I looked last night, and last year I started my in-person hours for tax collection the second week in October, so I'm gonna stick to that. It worked well. So that falls the week of Columbus Day, so probably I'll figure out what day of the week I'm gonna do it the same as I did last year. I'll be here one evening and then Saturday in the morning for a few hours. And then on the due date, which is November 10th, I'll be here for a few hours in the afternoon into the early evening to collect that day. But we'll post that on the website, that will go in the banner, and that will be posted around town at the normal spots and here at the depot. If folks have questions or they need to schedule a time because they can't get here when I'm here, best way is email, which my email is on the website. You can also call the treasurer phone number, but email, usually I usually get those a lot quicker. So if you have email and you have a question or need to set up a time, shoot me an email, or you can leave me a voicemail and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We are doing okay with delinquencies. We're right around past years. I do have several parcels that I'm going to be referring to the attorney for further collection because I've gotten nowhere. And a couple of them are folks who have had this issue in the past. So a lot of times the attorney letter is a little stern, more stern than mine could be. So hopefully that will clear up some of the parcels that I haven't been able to at least get some sort of payment out.
Do we still use the fellow up in Dorset?
Yes. Yep, he's still, and I'll reach out to him probably next week to confirm, but last year when I had to talk to him about a couple of things, everything, we were fine, and I don't have any reason to believe he's not gonna be able to continue to do that for us.
So are either of these, either Shaftesbury Municipal or also have a Bennington?
So a couple of them, yes, and I had already reached
Okay.
out to Shaftesbury. One of them, I think they'll probably jump on board also. One of the ones for the Shaftesbury, they actually haven't paid their Shaftesbury bill, but
Just
not
not
paid their
this.
school bill.
Okay.
So obviously that's
Yeah.
that's just a me.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Bennington ones, as far as Bennington goes, they're usually smaller scale,
Yeah.
so it doesn't tip their radar. So if we move forward, they're just gonna jump on with us. So yeah, so that will be, and it may not even turn to the point where you have to decide if we're gonna go to a full tax sale or not. Hopefully they just get it cleared up or just get a payment arrangement. You know, that's the thing. So that's all I have for tax billing. I do have one other thing, unless anybody has any questions on tax bills. So I actually had this last month and Lori reminded me that I had forgotten. We had a lot to go on with tax rate and everything. So the budget for the trustees' rates for this year was increased by $2,000. The original conversation was to do an increase to the chair position because of all the increased items and responsibilities that fall in that position, and then potentially do spread the remainder out. So what I had in my original email, which I'm going to reiterate, and obviously you would take a vote, is to do the following. So the chair position would be increased by $1,000. Again, this is for the year. And the remaining 4 seats would be increased by $250 each. It has been, as far as I can tell, a minimum of 6 years since there's been any increase to trustee rates, fees, however you want to call it. And it's probably been longer than that. I only went back that far. So it's completely up to the trustees to make the vote. But that would be my recommendation, is based on the increased responsibilities specifically to the chair, and then the other trustees. Now, I mean, we have the, everybody knows we have the, the ethics that have to be, those videos and forms, and there's annual filings now, and working with zoning, things there. With Norm, it's more complex with the highway grants and things like that. So my proposal is the $1,000 to the chair position and $250 increase, and again, this is annual, to each of the remaining 4 seats.
It would be my recommendation that you're saying that we previously agreed to a total of a $2,000 increase in the budget?
Correct. So when the budget was voted on in March by all the residents, there was a $2,000 increase in the budget amount from $5,000 to $7,000 for the trustees' seats.
I would like to make a motion that all of that goes to the chairperson.
That's what I thought our original intent was, that the chair gets.
There was discussion of a few different things, and there, at the time, we didn't have to make a decision because it was just the budget for that. So now we have the trustees have to make the decision. Again, this is not to any one person, this is to the position.
Right, and the chair does tremendously more work than.
Yeah.
But,
I don't disagree.
but I would say that if it's been that long since any of the positions were adjusted, let's do it incrementally and at least make an adjustment for everyone in the way that Doug had recommended.
And I think we're kind of back to
And then,
where I think this is the
yeah,
two.
and then you can, then, you know, because the next chair might find it difficult to do everything, especially if the next chair has a full-time job or a part-time job,
Yeah,
so.
true enough.
And there's
I
certainly
like that.
possibility going forward,
Yeah.
I mean, just because that's what
Yeah.
is voted for this budget season,
You could
even if
budget.
it stays
Yeah.
7,000 for the next 5 years, it could be broken up. I don't believe there's anything in the charter that says how that has to be paid out, so. Again, I leave it to the trustees because I don't have the power to do anything when it comes to.
Maybe we could leave it as a total pot of money and then each year this board decides how it gets out. But
I think that's fine, we have to decide for this
You
year.
need to
Yeah,
decide.
I understand, so I do think Mary is well deserving of more than $10,000.
And
But on the other hand, you know, I don't, there's a lot of work, even if you're not the chair, or if you participate, and all of us do participate.
And that's why I think, let's, as Norm says, walk, crawl, walk, run, has not been adjusted for a while. Make the $250 adjustment for the trustee positions and the $1,000 for the chair position. And then we're gonna be talking about budget before we turn around again.
Yeah,
So
right.
we can address that again.
Yeah.
Let me say that I think that's too little for Mary. It's appreciated by the other trustees, her consideration for us, but,
Thank you, but I think again, let's,
I'm not arguing.
Good.
further.
I will withdraw my motion and agree with Mary that this time around, we double, basically we're doubling the chair, right?
Yeah.
And adding 25% to the board.
correct.
In the future, we're gonna need to push that chair, position up to make it
Worth doing.
much,
Or the other option is divide out the responsibilities and equitably help everyone.
of course, but
And I think the discussion going forward, I think this is the good start is, because then, like you said, if next year, the year after, whatever, you have the chair and the vice chair is taking some things the chair had been doing, you can move some things
That's exactly
around,
right.
you know, and go that route and have that flexibility.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I think you can say Mary's motion and Matt's second. We both agree there.
Yeah.
Any other comments? All in favor of that?
Aye.
Anything else, Doug?
No, I will get those two printed off unless anybody has any questions for me, but I'm not going to.
Okay, we'll sign that, and then we will move to the fire department, and you wish to make some comments?
Yeah, I, got a burn permit, a week and a half ago. And, Cindy Mayer is the
Burn warden.
and, is responsible for issuing the permit. Anyway, I used to call them on their landline, they got rid of their landline. So now I'm trying to find her number, and I ended up calling, Ed Harrington, who's doing quite well over in Mechanicsville with a town with 5, he's in a department with 5 towns, so he seemed quite happy. But he said he is still listed on the village website as the fire chief, and he's getting calls. So he asked that if that is the case, that the change be made in the web.
Yeah, well, thank you for finding that.
No, I-
would have,
He just told me, so I wanted to pass that along.
thank you.
But that's a
I'll look
point.
that up right now, because I don't think that's true.
Continue.
I'm checking.
You know what it may be? The fund for North Bennington
Yes.
has a North Bennington dot something
Yeah.
website.
He is. He's still on as the fire chief.
He is, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can correct that, thank you.
Yeah.
Can you send that to Lucy? ASAP?
Yeah.
The other, talking to Cindy, she was complaining that, of course, part of her job is to deal with people who are not following the permit process and are burning things that they're not supposed to be burning. And she said there was one resident in the village who was totally cantankerous, and he was burning cabinets in his backyard or something, and no permit, and there's shellac and different finishes on the wood. So anyway, she couldn't get him to stop, and he just persisted. So what I wanted to ask was whether, I know that when we had that zoning issue with Chris, we had the sheriff come and, or was it just a lawyer? Did we ever have the sheriff come for that zoning thing on the?
Well, I think, but, Chris can stop me if I'm wrong. I don't think you wanna lump zoning into what you're saying. If Cindy has some issue
Right,
with a resident within her job as fire warden,
right,
which is her job, everything is right there, then I think as the trustee, we can, or you can talk to Mary, contact the sheriff's department to talk to her. The village would get the bill for the sheriff's department
That
to
was-
aid her.
that was good.
We
I
would bring
was,
zoning into the
well,
law. It's two
I
completely
was,
different things.
my memory was
Yeah.
faulty. I thought we did talk about hiring a sheriff to go on the site visit.
No,
But different, right,
So,
different issue.
yeah, different issue, yes. The only point the reason I brought that up was that if we are willing to do it in one sort of department, shouldn't we be willing to do it in another department, like the fire department also? And I wanted just to discuss it if
Yes.
anybody had any questions.
Well, I had fielded calls, which I didn't notice from Cindy about this person. And it is an issue because she is not a person who can bring some punitive powers.
yeah,
She can note the problem, and she can tell them that they're not allowed to do this, but she has no way of enforcing it that I know of, based on the statute for the fireworks. So yes, I think that would be a good idea, because she needs help with this individual. And it is disrespectful to the whole neighborhood to
well,
be burning this.
well, I mean, for heaven's sakes, if
That's
the
illegal, right?
If the
That's
fire
illegal,
warden,
yeah.
I don't know the fire warden statute, nor do I know
I don't know.
what
I
our
looked it up-
charter
I
would
looked it
say,
up once.
nor do I know what our charter says about the trustee involvement with the fire warden, but by heavens, yes, we should be supporting that
Well,
position.
we don't actually have, the fire warden has certain powers,
Uh-huh.
just not,
Not
they can,
enforcement.
not, actual enforcement to cease and desist. They can tell them they shouldn't be doing it.
there's a violation of an ordinance, who does that fall on?
Sorry, what?
If there's an ordinance.
If there's a violation of a burning ordinance,
But I don't know that we have a burn ordinance. Wait a minute, Chris has a comment. Sorry, Matthew.
I was asked the same question maybe 6 months ago. What are our policies about burning? We really don't have anything.
Okay.
We probably need a burn ordinance. And because the only thing we have is what it says in the village report about go to the fire department to get a burn permit. But we have nothing to enforce it, like you all said.
Yeah.
So we probably need to have planning commission sit down and write an ordinance so we tell us, send where to go. And
I get the feeling that Cindy's position is in some ways a state position that is separate from the fire department.
Right, and it's
Yeah.
based on what
Am I
you're
right?
saying, that's what it sounds like too, which is why I think if she has the feeling is adamant, and I have no reason to not believe that this person is burning things that they're not supposed to, that she would able to get the sheriff's department to aid her in getting this person to not do it or burn illegally. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
So I just go back to what I had said, I think, since she's reached out to Scott and Ray.
Well, I told Cindy that the fire department is always on the agenda every month. And she's more than welcome to come anytime.
So I think.
But I did want to bring it up.
Yeah.
So those are the only two things I have.
Department is
Good.
perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And then in a situation like this, between the two of you to work with her to get the billing to go to the village, that's the way that it's gotta go.
We should probably all be aware of what the state statute
I
is.
think we have to look at the state's,
Yeah.
the position in the statute of the warden again and see, and maybe we can have a conversation with Cindy about it and see what we can come up with. I don't know whether we need, like Chris suggests, an ordinance or whether there's power that I don't know
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
But she's appointed by the fire department.
So if she's appointed, so that then we do have to know what the statute says and also what our
Right.
charter says. Because if our charter says that the trustees designate all that fire-related power to the fire department, then the fire department, of course, has the right to get support when they need enforcement.
Yeah, well, we may need some legal advice here.
Yeah,
Because I do think she is pretty conscientious about looking around and
yeah,
reporting, but, I'm very conscientious as far as I can go. But she needs some help in getting people to toe the line.
well, thank you for bringing that up, because, yeah, that's not something.
I think Scott for bringing it up because
Yeah.
it's in the back of my mind that I needed.
Well, I'm gonna be, talking or texting with Cindy about another burn permit later in the month. And I can, tell her that
Yeah, let's definitely.
let's
look
get
at it.
together, maybe come to the October meeting or whatever.
I can tell you that Bennington doesn't have a fire ordinance because I've gone through their ordinances
Yeah.
like 16 times.
There's according to Cindy, for 1 sec, according to Cindy, Vermonters have the right to burn, so the state can't just ban it.
No, I mean, the state has,
And
Rules.
village, yeah, the state has rules,
Yeah.
like they have the whole weather forecast thing, and if it's too windy or too, we're in a drought, they don't allow it statewide. So anyway, sorry to interrupt you.
no, it's okay. I was just bringing up all the things that we're talking about. So according to the, state of Vermont website, permissible open burns include, the things you were talking about, natural wood, leaves, stuff, on premises leaf, brush, deadwood, tree cuttings, normal property maintenance, burning for weed abatement, forest prevention, whatever. But, you know, it says you have to get permits in order to cover air quality, climate, and honestly,
Right, so
safety.
every,
Bennington does have fire.
They do, it's listed on here,
Right.
yeah.
Just not an ordinance, I think.
They don't have an ordinance about fire.
So this person is burning without permit, and that's,
that's a violation of the
that's a violation.
state statute,
How do we enforce it? That's the
state
question.
police.
Yeah, it comes down.
Or, you know, what would really work is if the fire department went over there with a full crew and put it out and left a
Well, maybe if we.
steaming mess in the guy's
Or if
backyard.
we all read more about the state.
The state law says open burning of trash using a burn barrel, homemade incinerator. et cetera.
Usually, the statutes that I've read on other subjects do have some section on enforcement and, you know, who, the various authority. Anyway, we will certainly put that on.
Did you have another point, Jen?
My point is we need to do some research,
Yes,
and,
you're right.
that has been my point. I know we need someone to enforce this for Cindy because she can't, I mean, she has no enforcement powers. She has the ability to issue a permit or to deny a permit. But if someone is being a stonewall,
Matthew Hathaway is the Bennington fire warden, according to the website. He may be someone that she should be able to contact regarding this.
Could you give me that name again?
Yeah,
Matthew?
I'll give you everything they have on him.
Okay,
Okay, should we move on?
sure.
yes.
Okay.
I think so.
We don't have anything from the water department that I know
Nope,
No.
not where I
of. All right, DRB,
We have a meeting next week on Tuesday, September 16th at 7:00 o'clock. There are 3 issues on the agenda. 940 Water Street continuation, 40 acres, and I don't remember the third one.
37 acres.
37 mechanic.
We may not continue with the 940 Water Street. We will all know that when the state gets back to their,
Yeah, we're waiting on, okay,
the gentleman from MS, again, the engineer that's handling that.
Yeah.
Is in touch with the state person contact, and he's, I think yesterday, he contacted one of the state, so he's gonna follow on that.
so we're waiting to see if we're
Right,
talking
if
about
something
that.
comes forward, you address it at the
Yeah.
meeting, if it doesn't, you just continue it
With the other 2.
October. And deal with the can.
Beautiful.
okay. As far as the planning commission, there is a meeting of the planning commission, the next day next week, Wednesday, September 17th, that's also at 7 o'clock. And that will be, that agenda will be posted and a Zoom link included. Kim Hall sent some updates, for me to review with you. There, he did attach, I was not at the last meeting, of the planning commission, but the commission did draft, an ordinance text in 2 forms for short-term rentals. This is going to be voted on by the planning commission next week. There is a draft, Scott, I just sent you I just copied that draft for you. My apologies, I thought I sent it to all of you, but I did not. So
Yeah,
I
I
will
was just
send
looking at that.
yes, I will send it after this meeting, and so trustees can take a look, because the planning commission will then be voting to bring that to this board in October. So I'll give you that so you can have plenty of time to research. There's also an update that an ordinance concerning unsafe and hazardous structures, that is still under review by the planning commission, and with the anticipation that it will be in front of the trustees within the next few months. Kim reports that the Vermont Emergency Management is still working with V-Trans to get them to monitor and maintain the Lake Parent Reservoir Dam. And the Planning Commission is ready to assist in a vigorous campaign to lobby for maintaining the viability of our independent schools. Mr. Hall is concerned that there is not an evidence-based study of successful programs for those who are making decisions on the education thing, and that there is a lack of a factual basis for the proposed changes. And it seems that may indeed be the case.
Presently, they are still waiting for data from this on their redistricting states.
That's all,
That's what I heard.
I had to report from the Planning Commission, but is there anything that you needed to comment on that last point?
No.
No, okay. We can move on to the new business, which is now the use of the depot. Lori, did you, before I do that, well, I will note that last month, Bennington Garden Club did use the other meeting room over there. And I'm wondering if any of you were able to see that. I was not around, but apparently the photos I saw of their flower exhibits were just exquisite. And they would take a photo of one of the art installations from the Art in the Park here. And then that would be their inspiration for their arrangement.
Is that right?
And it was just, some of them were just absolutely amazing. And it was open to the public, and apparently it was, you know, well enough attended. Bob, I think you guys went?
Yes.
And I think, thanks to Allison, I got to see some of those photos, and they were magnificent, so.
Creativity inspires more creativity.
Yeah, so the
That's
Bennington
okay.
Garden Club sent the village trustees a very nice thank you note for letting them use the space. So Laura, we have some new, oh, go ahead, Matthew, were you
We
saying
would
something?
really love to do this in the future, and I encourage that. They had a great time, and I didn't attend, but spoke with the Ms. Schatz, I think, who's the head of and she was delighted with the outcome and everything. So we should encourage that kind of use of the building.
Thank you, I think we agree.
You made me want to do something with flowers.
Yeah. So Lori, you have some new requests that you wanted to discuss.
So the first one was from Avery Wood. She's looking for a space to hold a fundraiser for the Bennington Multicultural Center this fall. And she's wondering if the train station is available for use and is willing to pay a charge for that use.
What, do you know what the event is?
That I didn't ask any further questions until I spoke with Mary and forwarded you that message, Mary. So,
And I don't know that we really have a policy developed.
Are they a nonprofit or are they just a local club?
There is a policy. We went through this,
We did.
Yeah, somewhere.
you know, the slippery slope of who can and cannot use the space, and I'm not sure where that landed and whether it made a difference if there was a fee, you know, if there was I think obviously it has to be nonprofit. It can't be a for-profit thing, and it can't be a religious venture for, I think, obvious reasons, but
And I think there was definitely no alcohol.
yeah, for sure.
And didn't we, what, now you're jogging my memory. there was, am I correct in saying that there couldn't be fundraising, there couldn't be sale of goods?
Yeah.
Yes, you're right, because I remember that, there was always, for many years, a New Year's Eve cello concert in the depot until that was moved to the left bank. And it was just donation only because we didn't allow a charge. You know, we didn't allow them to charge for people to enter into the depot space to hear the concert. So it was donation. So I wouldn't think that a fundraiser would be allowed, but I wanted to make sure to check with you.
Is the multicultural one a fundraiser?
Yes.
That's what, yeah, she's looking for a space to hold a fundraiser for the Bennington Multicultural Center.
All right, give her my name.
Okay,
Yeah.
If we can't do it here, Taradan could probably help them.
Oh, yeah, you want space
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
okay.
That's a good idea.
So I'll reply to her and have her get a hold of you, Tara.
Yeah. Thank you, Tara, for handling that.
So the second one is Senga Thompson. Got a hold of me. Her mother, Cheryl Thompson, I guess known as North Bennington's flower lady. She always put the flowers in the pots and watered them. And anyway, her 80th birthday is in a couple of weeks. And Senga would like to have, her mother loves the depot. She would like to have just residents come in and have cake and visit with Cheryl in a depot space for her mom's birthday.
Well,
Yes, I think.
Matthew, you've got the seniority here. Has that come up?
She thought she'd put some light hors d'oeuvres out on the table, have cake, and everybody knows Cheryl, so it'd kind of be an in and out from couple 12 to 2 or something like that.
I think the big issue there was the delineation between, as you recall, maybe Lori, maybe 20 years ago now, when the Capstone Church wanted to have a revival or something on town property. And we definitely weren't going to get involved with religious stuff. But then there was a question about some Boy Scouts that were going to do something. And I mean, I'm fine with the community just using the space with no exchange of money. But I think in the past, we've always referred this to the fire department, where they rent space out of the second, or they used to.
They don't anymore.
They do not?
No, it doesn't comply with requirements that, no.
So, you know, having the door open for people to come in and say hello to a beloved resident, although that sounds wonderful, if the policy is we do it for nonprofits, or groups, you know, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, garden clubs, they're at least groups. What happens, because I was in here making copies or doing something a couple weeks ago, and a gentleman walked in, was here, and he poked his head in, and we chatted, and he looked at the space. He grew up here, in North Bennington, and was having I don't know if it was his wedding or a renewal of vows, and he wanted to come get married here. And I didn't think that was
That's
something
the
that
bottom
we
line.
would do.
I think it's great that, you know, as long as a trustee with a key can provide access to Sangha or for that thing, I think that's probably okay, because there's no, but you know, I don't know,
I worry that it sets a precedent for other birthday parties that people wanna have. You know, she is a very specific case because she is a integral part of the community and an 80-year-old, so we shouldn't expect, 15 kids with balloons scribbling on the walls. But I don't know if we have to make sure that we don't open the door for everyone who wants to have a birthday party to have one here.
and then how do you write a policy that,
I don't know.
Well,
That's why.
but if the policy already is nonprofit groups, non-religious, no alcohol, no sales of goods, I mean, that's kind of restricts it to not individual parties.
right? Yep. I don't have an answer,
Yeah,
I feel
that seems like a sad result.
I agree with Ray.
But it does open the door, if you say yes to one person, how do you,
No.
then you say yes to anyone who wants it.
How about
And I
we allow anybody who's taking care of the flowers for 30 or greater number of years
I don't,
access to birthday parties, Mr. Attorney?
Yeah, it has to have been someone who contributed significant services to
Yeah, that would be a good way to phrase it.
Or if you just made it that they had to be 75 or older.
I don't,
Then we get into the basic information.
I think we need,
If you're trying to find a way to do it, I think the significant contribution piece
Yeah.
Yes.
does kind of,
I
does
think,
kind of get you a way that you can
Okay.
say yes
Yeah.
for this person and still be okay with turning away, a resident wanting to have their 15-year-old's birthday party.
Yeah.
I think that
Okay.
a significant contribution piece could be.
yeah,
long-term resident with significant contribution.
you know,
That would be good.
the left bank is not part of the village infrastructure, except by, being in the village. And they did exactly that for two teachers that we could.
John and Pat,
Yeah. I don't see, there's nothing that strikes me wrong with doing that. And,
Okay, let's get a
it's,
motion.
it's
Are we
part
writing
of
a
being a
policy?
village, I just don't know.
I think we can add that to the to-do list. We're not gonna write a policy tonight. No, tonight I think we can take the ideas that people have expressed and someone can make that motion.
Okay. Lori, did you have more people to use the thing, or was it just those two?
No, it really was just those two for tonight.
Okay. Then I move that we allow Senga, but not Avery, because of our proposed policy parameters.
So,
No.
Avery's clearly wanting to be fundraising, that's
Right.
good.
Right.
Yes, I'd agree with that.
So is that a second?
Yeah, that's a second, I agree with it, so.
Okay.
And given the significant contribution piece and the limited hours, let's say we limit it to 2 hours.
and limited
Uh-huh.
access, of course, to the
Yes.
whole.
Yes,
I presume they're going to clean up after themselves.
which,
Do we need a contract, so the?
I think Laura usually takes care of some of that stuff, because we do need to make sure that insurance needs, somebody's coming in with the walker and they're tripping and falling off
Yeah.
the stairway.
Yeah. Well, we had one for Matthew, or not Matthew, the college, when they had their art stuff over
Yes,
there.
they provide
We do that.
a certificate of insurance.
The Arts
I don't know what
Exchange
it-
pays extensively per agreement and contract with us, but, so that's where it gets, we gotta clear this out a little bit but I'm fine with this one time, and then we should figure out.
Lori, have they chosen a date for this?
Well, I mean, it was just the initial request. She said her birthday was in a couple of weeks. I can tell you right now that somebody like personal like this is not going to be able to get a rider on what
No.
insurance to come have a cake and tea for her 80-year-old mother. So,
No, but a basic contract that says they have to clean up after themselves and respect the space, I don't think is hard to draw up.
Yeah, no.
no, I mean, that's easy for me to do. That's not a big deal at all. Keep in mind, the place is pretty dirty to begin with.
Well, I mean, you know,
I take exception, I have been cleaning it, and there is a Swiffer right back here. And I regularly clean the bathroom.
Okay,
This room,
Is it next door or next door?
Both.
Oh, both, okay, cool.
but do they want both?
They wanna use,
They wanna use the
no, she just wants one room. No,
Yeah.
just one
It
room.
would be this one, yes, okay.
So
All
do
right,
we need to
then.
go back, do we need to go back to a situation where the office there, which contains things that
Needs to be locked.
needs to be locked?
Well, that's gonna come up under the next order of business.
Okay.
Here we go.
So, the motion was to allow a long-term resident who's made significant contributions to the village to use this depot room for a brief birthday well-wishing event.
So moved.
Okay,
No, we already moved. We gotta just say yay or nay.
I seconded it.
okay, all right. All in favor?
Aye.
I was just kind of restating what we were talking about.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
you are, that's correct.
All right.
All right, what you got?
That's
All right, the next thing is, we are moving on to, okay, under the old business. Now, everyone who is appointed or elected had to do the ethics training. Lori is the ethics coordinator and needs to maintain a spreadsheet and a file of all of our
I haven't.
completed certificates.
And neither of them.
Well,
I have the spreadsheet, I have a folder printed out, and I do get an email once someone has completed
Yes.
that. There
Yes.
are not very many certificates in my folder.
okay,
No, I think Nick DeSorda is like the only one that said he did it from the other board.
well,
Zach did it.
Well,
Chris has done it, I've done it, Kim Hall has done it, at
This
least,
weekend.
yeah, okay,
Yes,
so,
Lori's
at
done
any rate.
I've done it, Hugh
Yes, you've
Crowell has done it.
Yes,
So,
the fire department guys have done it.
Ed, yes,
How long is
yes,
it?
the fire department chief has done it.
So it takes about 45, 50 minutes to
Okay.
view the video. When you view the video, you can do that. Then you can, then the
Then
next,
you take a test.
then yes, and you cannot fail that test because you can't get on to the next question until you answer it properly. And it's multiple choice. It takes you all,
Self-correct.
it's self-correcting at the end of it. Just make sure when you register, because you have to register your own account with your password, that you add Lori's email in as a person to receive the confirmation.
Okay.
So make sure we get that done.
And,
And Lori, can you restate the date that it's due by, please?
September,
30th.
okay, okay, it might have been, I thought it was a little bit before, but September 30th is probably good enough.
and for those of us, who are negligent in many areas of our lives, can that link be sent out again, or?
Yes, I will resend that link.
Thank you.
I got my link the other day again.
Okay. All right, the next thing I wanted to talk about just briefly is the MERP grant. We are actually moving forward, inching ahead on this. And on September, Monday, the 15th, and possibly Tuesday, the 16th, Centerline Architects, I wish I could, Kelly, I think her name is Kelly, is the engineer, the architect. She will be doing site visits, detailed site visits, to make lots of notes, lots of pictures. And because we do not have blueprints of the building, she has to get some sort of engineered drawings. There is a cost to that. It should be covered by the grant. But, Bill Christian is gonna be available for all of those walkthroughs. Ray and Bill are going to be meeting, fire department at 10 o'clock Monday morning. And they will do that building first, because we always said that the firehouse was the priority of the three. Then we will do the depot and the garage. So we're moving forward on that. The drop dead date to expend all the funds is the end of December 2026. A year plus seems like a long way away, but it is not. And to get people to do the work.
Yes.
Is another matter. So our hope is to have, what's the word for it? Some sort of timeline? No, it's like plans that you would hand to a contractor. Not blueprints, but are they called?
Specs?
Engineer drawings. Thank you. Yes, that's what we need. We're gonna have them by September. That's why you're here.
And we'll have those.
Excuse me, not by September, we'll have them, start working on that this month. We should have those drawings in hand. If not by the end of the year, by early 2026, so that they can then go out to bid and have something in place by or before early spring. The last project that I wanted to mention is the records retention, and that circles back to Matthew's comment on, is there anything that needs to be locked? Doug and I have talked about you taking this old ticket office right over here, moving things out, putting in a series of file cabinets. We now have some file cabinets. They're in the other side, and we'll get them over here. And then we can start going through that long, multiple page records retention policy. Not something that this brain can memorize, but we will start using the downstairs, this room here, for the current and the records that we need for audit.
And it's also gonna centralize, because as it stands right now, Mary still has stuff at her house, Lori has great deals of stuff at her house, I have stuff at my house.
Who
So
knows where else is?
it's, right, it's going to be much more centralized, so then, for example, the treasurer position would only have the current fiscal year records at their home or where they choose. It's just easier for me to do work at home than to come here every time you want to do something. But once you get 2 binders and stuff, it's where you put it. You just put it on the shelf, you know, like there's people in and out, there's countless meetings here, so with the file cabinets in there that would be able to be locked, and, you know, and then as we now have an annual audit, once the annual audit is completed, that stuff can go upstairs and, you know, you have your shelves marked.
Is there an allowance for you to, electronically record them? And store it that way?
If you do, yes, if you do scanning and electronic storage, you do it for everything. That sounds nice, but how the heck do you retrieve it?
Yeah.
Then you need to have some way of retrieving it.
And
So,
what we do have, right, the village treasurer computer and the village zoning computer are both automatically backed up to the cloud service, which is through e-enable. So anything that's done via email, so if there was ever, you know, a Freedom of Information Act filed or anything like that, all that information is saved. So when I say warrants on here, things like that, there is that electronic record, but then to have to sit through and say, well, we know we have this as electronic, so we don't need this piece of paper, you're almost double dipping, so to speak. You're taking more time to try to figure out what you have and what you don't have.
and I would encourage you to go.
I'm just thinking of spatial volume.
Well, there is, and it's dull reading, but probably worth at least having some familiarity with the multiple pages of detail in the records retention policy. Because depending on the record, some things, they are kept permanently, not a lot. Most things are kept a certain number of years post-audit.
Okay.
So those are the type of things maybe
Right.
once we know,
We
we
could-
can say if things are from, with a 1 to 5 year retention, they're
Right.
here. If there are 5+, they go above, and then it's,
then you have a policy that you have to remove things that are.
that's
ready
right.
to
But
be
we also have,
spared.
but we also know when we're filing it, how they're reported, and in what file cabinet,
Yeah.
which can also then be marked, so you know periodically, whether it's every year or every X years, you go through and you take those marked files and
Read them.
move them around and then eventually move them to destruction.
Either way, you have to have a filing system.
Yes,
You have to have categories, you have to keep a record, you have to have a record that connects you to those records.
and the state archivist who helped me in the original go through of things upstairs, hopefully at that time, was available to come back when we're ready to do the next round and help with exactly what you're talking about, right?
This is a very difficult thing for this board to take care of because it requires intensive effort and
Yes.
purpose.
But
I mean, it may be pedestrian in certain ways, but that's a lot of work.
yes, it is, but once we get those file cabinets here and start putting away the current records that we have and the ones that we know, based on the retention schedule, that we know we will have for the next 6 years. The next thing is to get the cabinets upstairs, and that will take an extensive effort, and we will be, public, if you're listening, we'll be looking for volunteers that may like looking at old documents. And we will have tables set up, and the archivist had told me that probably every piece of paper goes through 2 or 3 pairs of eyes to finally determine what its ultimate landing
So it's a
spot is.
community problem.
Yes, I think we can do that, because there likely are members of the community that would look at a
Yeah.
picture and say, oh, what's that?
Certainly must be some people.
So, and then we will also be able to familiarize ourselves with, as we're dealing with day-to-day matters, what here needs to be kept. I've been giving things to Lori that are, signed agreements or, quotes or whatever they are, that those are part of your retention schedule.
Yeah, right.
So it's just identifying. Anyway, that was it. That's all I have. Anything else? Does anybody mind if we end early?
Absolutely.
Dinner.
Wait, I did thank you for seeing that. I wrote it down and I really see it. Just a reminder that the round table, North Bennington Round Table, is sponsoring the annual Village Block Party. That's Sunday, September 28th from 10 to 2. Looks to be great fun.
Be advertised, it's 12.
12 to 2, she had.
12, I did have 12.
Your brand just said it wrong, that's fine.
It's 12 to 2. Thank you all.
She's already entered the meeting.
It's on the library, it's on the library.
No, it's at Park McCullough.
No, I mean,
Oh, I fixed it. And there are gonna be posters around, so please come.
I wish I could tell, but I gotta do that ethics thing.
Oh,
I've already got it up on my screen, I'm doing it on my own.
Yeah.
all right, so it is 8:23.
Well, that gives you 2 days still.
I guess so.
Motion to adjourn at 8:23.
I make the-
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a hilarious
Okay, so
meeting.
that,
Again, I'll take a second.
Tara's on the second on that. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you all.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Robin just left. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Was it everything you hoped it would be?
Recording stopped.
Was it everything we hoped it would be?
Yeah, he came for our meeting and it was.
Also, I'm trying not to
Oh,